Time to prepare for the upcoming treasure map versus Luchikaku and Stussy. We are going to start things off with the first mini-boss, of course, Old Luffy, who will be Strength, and this is a boss designed for the new Pirating Adventures CP0 unit, so we are going to use that unit to deal with everything essentially. First up, they will provide us with a chain lock in between the chain limitations for the attack down debuff, so it will be a 3.5 times chain. Then they can reduce the enemy's threshold to 0, and finally, if we do the trick of having them as friend captain and crewmate instead of double captain, then we can activate the crewmate special and transition that unit into the captain position to avoid the interruption of a random crewmate becoming captain. For the rest of the crewmate spots, you can use literally whatever you like for either more damage, color advantage or better points. For my specific team, the multiplier is around 5.26 times. The next mini-boss is Int Robin, and for this team we need the following. We need a bind remover in the right column, and units that can also resist and provide special cooldown reduction in the right column as well. Here I'm using Treasure Map Rare Recruit Sanji as captain, not because he's the best captain, but because he's a very reliable bind remover with what we have been given in this boosted list. Any other bind remover or any other way to deal with bind would work. And your friend captain obviously doesn't need to be Treasure Map Rare Recruit Sanji because he's only boosted by 1.2 times, just have a better booster and a better captain overall. Bone Clay or Treasure Map Legend Sanji, for some basic examples, would work. Now, under Sanji in the right column, we have two units that can both resist the special rewind completely in Garp and Treasure Map Rare Recruit Zoro, and they can both provide one turn of special cooldown reduction to everyone. Specifically, we want that special cooldown reduction on Sanji. So essentially, we activate Zoro and then Garp. They can both provide Sanji his special back and then also increase our damage output. Then we activate Sanji to release the left column from bind. Then we activate Robin and Bartolomeo. Now, free to play Robin here sees maximum level limit break, so she can completely deal with despair, and Bartolomeo will help us survive the after defeat hit. With the Treasure Map Legend as friend captain, this team's multiplier will be around 3.56 times. The third mini-boss will be Dex Zoro, probably the easiest one, because here we are going to use our holy 1.35 times boosters. The new super evolution of Arlong Crew as double captain is extremely helpful, because first of all, when we enter the quest, they will decrease our HP, so we will have less than 70% when entering the final stage, meaning we will get the better preemptive. Then we are also going to use Drake, the last Kizuna unit. If you have him super evolved, that is also fine. If you have him both super evolved and non-super evolved, even better. You can also use him in another quest in one of his forms, maybe even versus Old Luffy or wherever else you find helpful. And essentially these two units help a lot because of the special cooldown reduction. So what will happen is crewmates will get 2 turns of special reverse and captains will get 3. The Arlong crew will be able to be super swapped, so they can reduce their special cooldown by 2. Then Drake can provide special cooldown reduction after he resists the crewmate one, so the Arlong crew can get their specials back, and then we can activate them, and they can provide more special cooldown reduction for the crewmates. The combination of all of these actions, especially with Drake's double special activation, will leave us with matching slots, an attack boost, an ore boost, and a base attack boost from the super swap of the Arlong crew. For the rest of the crewmates now, you need to focus to essentially have the rest of the needed colors in the crew, so every color is available and the Arlong crew can give us a proper boost. For the strength roll, we obviously have the Arlong crew, for the Q1 Drake, for the Dex, Treasure Map Tasigi, for the Int, Treasure Map Whitebeard, and for the side, Treasure Map Zoro and Sanji, the dual unit, entering on Sanji of course, who is the Sai version. Whitebeard and Tasigi both actually get boosting, but something to have in mind, you don't need to have the maximum level limit break for them to work. They don't really help a lot. They will help with damage because Zoro has like all of the colors in his HP bar, and Tashigi also can provide a color affinity boost, but you don't really need to get the maximum out of them for the team to be successful. Their color and having every color on the crew is probably the most important part for the rest of the crewmates other than Drake. Pretty straightforward team actually, and its multiplier is 5.29 times. The next mini-boss will be Lilith. She will also have multiple colors in her HP bar. She will specifically be Psi and Strength. We are going to use double 5+ Pirate King Adventures Kobe here as our captain. He is awesome for multiple reasons. He's a very decent free-to-play captain. He is boosted by 1.4 times. He can deal with despair and provide us with a chain boost. The big issue though in this quest is the special bind, because 7 turns of it are present. Here with Rika and Tempo, the treasure map rare recruit, we can completely resist and remove it. The problem appears if you don't have them. I do have an easy solution for you though, and Doflamingo Sugar as friend captain won't exactly work because of despair being present. Now, what you can do is replace the treasure map rare recruit with the Q Pirating Adventures unit, the CP0, which can resist 6 turns and remove 6 turns of special bind. So 1 turn will be remaining, and to very easily deal with that is to attach Kobe with Legend Garb support, who can remove 3 turns of special bind from the support position, and then he will allow the CP0 to completely deal with special bind, making it a very easy replacement for the treasure map rare recruit. The problem then is that you need to make adjustments to your first team versus old Luffy. You need to use another chain locker or someone to provide chain boundaries, and then also be able to deal with the threshold, all of the turns of it, even after the interruption, which is definitely manageable. Okikuizo, for example, are a very good chain locker for that quest, and treasure map all-in with treasure map Zoro already are some threshold removers. But you have to of course accept most likely the captain swap, which can be fine if you use decent captain ability having crewmates. For the rest of the team here, other than the special bind and despair, we also need to deal with the barrier that is present, paralysis and resilience. Moria, treasure map Moria, will deal with resilience. Siryu will deal with paralysis, and free-to-play Sai Sanji will deal with the barrier alongside Moria, and will also provide us with better slots and chain boundaries. Just make certain that you have a Luffy support attached on him. I'm using login bonus Luffy. You can use any Luffy you want, so he can actually remove the barrier. 2 turns from Sanji with his double special activation, 1 turn from Moria, and we don't have to worry about hitting grades. For more damage, you can also use Sugar and Doflamingo as friend captains, but I just think double Kobe is way more accessible, and this team's multiplier is 4.85 times. Versus the main boss S-Shark, in my opinion, we have a very annoying quest. I am actually not even going to use the new treasure map legend as the friend captain. I think Nami and Karina are exceptional in this quest, and I unfortunately don't have them, so we are going to use them as friend captain in this team. Our own captain will be treasure map legend Luffy, and let me give you a quick breakdown for this team. First of all, you need to enter on Karina and Carrot from Carrot Wanda. Then we are going to use the Grand Tesoro as our ship, because we are going to get G and the rainbow slots, which means it can give us more damage, but it can also provide us with higher HP, which we are going to need to survive the pain applied in the final stage. This team still might struggle to deal with pain, but we are going to see. I would advise you to use HP boosting supports though, and alongside the Grand Tesoro it will definitely help. And I think Luffy can automatically reactivate his special if the pain brings us under 30% HP in the final stage, but we will have to test this out when the quest is live. Treasure map rare recruit Otama is as support on Luffy, by the way, so she can lock our slots in stage number 2 and we can carry rainbow slots in stage number 3. I don't know if she's super necessary, but definitely helps with damage, because we don't really have great slot manipulation for the final stage. If you miss here though, a great free-to-play alternative will be Int free-to-play Custard on Blackbeard. Not as efficient as Otama, but I am pretty certain you can still easily clear with her. Then Blackbeard will be the special we will activate first, Treasure Map Legend Blackbeard, in stage 2 to remove the bind completely, get chain boundaries for stage 2 and stage 3 as well to deal with the chain debuff if we hit 2 perfects, which we of course are going to do. Then Carrot Wanda is very important because the damage reduction removers are so few in this Treasure Map boosted list. It's an absolute joke. It's unacceptable in my opinion, the fact that we have like 4 in total, and majority of them, if not all of them, are legends. We have Namek Arena, the new Treasure Map legend, S-Shark. Personally, I have none of these legends, so I can't do the combo of Namek Arena captain and then the new Treasure Map legend as friend captain. I'm gonna use Carrot Wanda instead, so they can get the buff to ignore defensive effects and barriers with their attack. And then we need as much boosting as possible so that attack can take out the mini-boss. To guarantee Carrot Wanda a matching slot, enter on Wanda, then super swap to Carrot of course. Have in mind, if you do that after Luffy's activation, you will have a better attack boost on Carrot Wanda than the one the super swap would provide. And to increase our damage even further, we can actually also activate Luffy's super type here after we activate his special. Because the thing is, I don't know if we will be able to use his super type in the final stage because of the pain. If we can use it there and the team can survive the pain hit, then maintain it for them. But his special needs to be activated here, not only for the attack boost, but for the slots, and to also remove the burn completely, which we need to do to hit our perfects. Essentially, the order of specials or actions in stage 2 would be Blackbeard, Luffy, super swap to Carrot, and activate Carrot, and maybe even Luffy's super type. In the final stage now, hopefully we have enough HP for the 3 necessary actions, and those are activating Treasure Map Rare Recruit Jinbe to remove 2 turns of barrier. Make certain you activate him first because he manipulates slots, meaning he will activate the interruption. After that, super swap to Nami and activate Nami. The super swap will increase our damage, give Blackbeard a guaranteed G slot, and activating Nami will of course remove the damage reduction and the barrier completely because we get 2 extra turns of removal. Ignoring the barrier is just awesome, and she will also increase our damage overall. Buggy is here because with his Sailor ability, he can completely remove the silence, allowing us to hit perfects super easily, but it's not super necessary to use a unit like that. You can replace Buggy with whatever helps. And if we have enough HP after the 3 necessary actions, we could even activate Buggy or the unit replacing him for more damage, and Luffy's super type. Hopefully the team works because this main boss is extremely annoying to deal with. Its multiplier is not that great though, at only 3.87 times. And finally, versus the Intrusion, here is my team. The Intrusion is way easier compared to the main boss, at least for my box. What we are going to do here is actually use the new Treasure Map Legend Atlas as friend captain, and our captain will be Bone Clay. If you don't have Bone Clay, Hina can be used as captain as well, and you can replace Bone Clay with essentially any cerebral unit that can help you with damage in stage number 2. The guide for this team is pretty simple. In stage number 2, we need Pirating Adventures 5+ Kobe. He's very helpful to, of course, deal with Bind and Despair, alongside Maximum Sockets, of course, for both of these, and he will provide a chain boost for the remainder of the quest. After that, we just need to make certain we have enough damage to beat the mini-boss, but also to not activate any specials that do damage, because we don't want to face the interruption with the extra Despair. That's why I'm using Bone Clay. We can activate him, get a full board of guaranteed matching slots, a base attack boost for everyone, and also transition Bone Clay into an Int Cerebral unit. Int, so we can get Int Super Typing and another unit to have color advantage over the final enemy, and Cerebral, so we can have a full Cerebral team and our friend captain Atlas can gain access to her super class ability. Activate the CP0 next to get a decent chainlock for this stage, and then Bone Clay's super typing, because the chainlock Bone Clay provides is 3.25 times, the CP0 one is 3.5, so it's better, might as well. And for the final stage, first activate the special of our friend captain Atlas. She will remove the low ore boost. Then, because of her captain ability, she will deal with attack down. From her special, she will also deal with the enemy's damage reduction. And then we want to activate her super class for an ore boost and to manipulate all of the slots with a non-interruptible slot changing action into guaranteed matching strength. After that, we want units to deal with 6 turns of defense up and 6 turns of threshold. That is why we have treasure map Hina here. She can also increase our damage, of course, but Hina is replaceable with anyone that can deal with 6 turns of defense up. And then we have Colosseum Jimbe, who is first of all free to play and amazing here because he can remove the enemy's threshold since our captain has the correct classes, and also provide our team with threshold, which can considerably reduce the after defeat damage the CP0 will apply and allow us to survive the hit. Just have in mind here that if you do replace Hina with another defense up remover, don't use a unit that can manipulate slots from their special, because then the CP0 will interrupt you and make all of your slots super block, which by that point we lose because we don't have a way to deal with that. For this specific team though, and of course the new treasure map legend as friend captain, the multiplier is considerably better than the main boss one at around 10.11 times. And these are all of my teams without using new units and offering some replacements for the upcoming horrendous treasure map versus the CP0. For more optimizations on the teams and of course a full playthrough guide the day the treasure map comes out, make sure to subscribe, and as always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.